Hey everyone, welcome back to my kitchen. We are here for another dog food recipe that I would like to share with you guys. Today I have a chicken and brown rice dog food recipe for you, and you can also substitute the brown rice with oats if your dog has a problem with rice, so any sensitivities or digestive issues with rice. So again, with homemade dog food, and I tell you guys this every week, or homemade dog treats, you can make these as healthy as you want for your dog, and I strive to make mine as healthy as possible, so I always look for organic and all natural products. The first thing that you're going to want to do, which I've already done, and I actually can show you that, you can see that here on my cutting board, that I have 2 eggs. I boiled 2 eggs and just chopped them up, so I didn't want to waste your time showing you how to boil eggs. I'm pretty sure everybody knows how to do that. So you just, obviously if you don't, you just boil a little pan like this with water, and you put your eggs in it. You boil them for about 8 minutes, and then you'll have cooked eggs, and you want to take the shell, sorry, I was going to say the peel, but of course eggs don't have peelings. So you want to take the shells off of those and then just chop them up, as you can see here. I mean, they don't need to be super fine pieces, but I did chop mine a little bit. Molly, sorry, my dogs are wrestling, so you might hear them a little bit. So anyway, you've got your 2 boiled eggs, and then what you want to do is take about a tablespoon of olive oil. On medium heat, so I'm going to set my oven, my stove top to medium heat right now. I don't usually measure when I cook very often, so if you're not sure what a tablespoon looks like, or about what a tablespoon looks like, just go ahead and measure it out. You're going to take a tablespoon of olive oil, and then 1 pound of ground chicken, and that's what I have here, Molly. So I have 1 pound of ground chicken, and I'm going to add that right to my pot here. And usually when you brown any kind of ground meat like this, you would do that in a skillet. And you can, if you'd like to do it in a skillet and then transfer it over to a pot, you can. I just like to use as few dishes as possible, so there's less dishes for me to clean when I'm done cooking. So I go ahead and brown it right in the pot that I'm going to cook in. Sorry, she is being a super pest. So while that is browning, while your ground chicken is browning, I have this other pot here, and you can see that that's already boiling. And what you want to do in this pot is cook 1 cup of brown rice. So I have the water boiling. I'm going to add the brown rice there. That just takes a few minutes to cook. And while that's cooking, your chicken's browning. So I'm going to take a little break and let this stuff cook, so you guys don't have to stand here and watch that with me. And I will come back in just a minute when all of this is finished. So I've got everything cooked. My 1 pound of ground chicken's in here, and my cup of brown rice has cooked nicely in here. And I don't know if you can see how well you can see that ground chicken. Couple of things to remember when you're cooking ground chicken if you've never done it before. It's not like hamburger. Hamburger is a much more fatty meat. There's a lot more fat in it, so you can kind of walk around and do things while it's cooking, and it's not apt to stick. Chicken's a very lean meat. So you put that tablespoon of olive oil in there to keep it from sticking, but you also want to stir it pretty constantly as it's cooking, just to keep it from sticking to your pan. So that's all set now, as well as the brown rice. And now all we're going to do is combine the rest of our ingredients. So it's pretty simple. That's why, again, I said that I didn't cook my chicken in a skillet. I cooked it in this pot so that I can combine everything in here with it. So the chicken's already in here. I'm going to add my rice that I just cooked. And as I mentioned in the very beginning of this, if you remember, you can substitute the brown rice for oats. So if you would rather use oats, you're just going to cook 1 cup of oats instead of the brown rice and do the exact same thing. Also, if you remember, I had my 2 boiled eggs that I've already boiled and chopped, so I'm going to put those in there. I also have 1 cup of cottage cheese. I get the low-fat cottage cheese. That's the healthiest for your dog. Again, I also try and find organic. So if you can find organic, low-fat cream cheese, sorry, not cream cheese, cottage cheese, that's the best choice, but any cottage cheese will work, whatever fits into your budget. So I'm just gonna give this a quick mix right now just because I'm getting quite a bit of stuff piled up there. So, and the other thing that you want to add is pureed vegetables, and you're going to add about 1.5 cups, which will be about 12 ounces of pureed vegetables. Now, if you have a food processor, you can go ahead and puree those vegetables yourself. If you don't, my trick is to buy baby food, and if you buy organic baby food that you look at the ingredients, and for example this one's sweet potatoes, and the ingredients are simply sweet potatoes. So if you can find baby food that only has the vegetable as the ingredient, it's organic, you can go ahead and use that instead of having to buy a food processor or puree your own vegetables. So I am using sweet potatoes, green beans, and carrots. You can use all of the same vegetable. If you want to just use 1.5 cups of pureed carrots, you can do that. Whoops, that one's not coming out as easily. So you can use just 1.5 cups of the same vegetable. You can mix and match like I do. I use sweet potatoes because they're kind of a superfood for dogs. Carrots and green beans are both great for dogs. Zucchini, any kind of squash is really good for dogs. Peas. So there's a lot of different ones. Just do a quick check if you're going to use something that you're not sure if it's going to be good for your dog or not. Just do a quick check online. Make sure it's a healthy vegetable, or call your veterinarian really quick, and I'm sure they would give you that information over the phone. All right, so this is all mixed up. Now, this is probably the most unappealing looking dog food that I make for my dogs, but it tastes good and they love it. It's super healthy. Eggs are great for dogs. All the vegetables are great for dogs. And of course, the ground chicken gives them the protein that they need, the rice. So I will just scoop some out into a little bowl here so you guys can see it up close, but with the you know, the chicken's a little chunky, the chunks of the eggs. Of course, the cottage cheese has those little white chunks. So not super appealing to look at, but your dog will love it. I can promise you that. You can serve this to your pet as soon as it's cooled, because obviously right now with the hot chicken and the hot rice, it's not going to be a good temperature for them to eat it. So just let it cool and you can serve it right away. You can store this in an airtight container in your refrigerator for 3 to 5 days. If you want to, you could also freeze this in an airtight container or like a Ziploc bag, and then it's going to be good for a long time. Usually what I do is I have like a prep day where I just make like a month's worth of dog food, and we are able to freeze it. If you have a deep freezer, we have a big chest freezer, so that works really well. If you have the storage space, if you don't, again, you know, this recipe, sorry about that, again, my dogs are wrestling in the other room, so I apologize for Molly squealing. But, you know, if you can't, if you don't have the space to keep the food in the freezer or your refrigerator, you can always just make this like once a week, make a, you know, a 5-day supply, and keep it in the refrigerator for you. It's obviously very beneficial if you can make it well in advance, and then, you know, you don't have to do this once a week or a couple of times a week, but it works out well. It's much healthier for your dog than typical commercial foods, so it's something great to look into. I share homemade dog food and dog treat recipes every week. I try and do a food one week and a treat one week, so every month on our website, topdogtips.com, and also on our YouTube channel, you will find 2 homemade dog food recipes and 2 homemade dog treat recipes. So be sure to subscribe to either our newsletter on our website or our YouTube channel to get those. You can also find us on social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Instagram, and Pinterest. You can find all of that stuff on there as well, my recipes. I also do product reviews if you're new to our site, and product comparisons, different how-to videos. So make sure you subscribe and check that stuff out if you want some great dog-related information. And of course, if you have any questions, or if there's anything that you can't find on our site that you've been looking for, any specific recipes that you've looked for, a couple of weeks ago I shared a crock pot recipe. I've done gluten-free dog treats. But if there's something that you're looking for, if your dog is gluten-free, diabetic, overweight, and you're looking for a low-fat food, anything that you want to see, make sure you send that request to me. I would be happy to do specific recipes or specific videos on what you guys are looking for. So I always encourage you guys to reach out to me. I'd love to hear from you. That always excites me when I hear from readers and I can do something that I know that you guys are waiting for and looking for. So this was the chicken and brown rice dog food. I hope you guys enjoyed the recipe video and I hope your dogs enjoy the food. And I'll see you guys back next week with a dog treat, a homemade dog treat recipe. So be looking forward to that. Thanks guys. Have a great day.